Hello everyone, it's Oda here, welcome back to my channel. You're in my kitchen and in this video we'll be preparing meal prep for the next 3 days. We'll make breakfasts, lunches and dinners so that over the next 3 days we won't have to spend time for cooking. Of course, all these meals are perfect for weight loss and healthy eating. But before we begin, I'd like to remind you to subscribe for my channel if you haven't done it yet. And turn on the notification bell so you don't miss new videos, and follow me on Instagram for more interesting content. Now let's start by preparing the chicken fillet for our dinner salad. I'm using 600 grams of raw chicken fillet, seasoning it with salt and natural chicken spices on both sides. Make sure to choose spices with a clean ingredient list, no added salt, flavor enhancers or artificial aromas. You can use any spices you like. I'll be baking the fillet in the air fryer, my favorite method because it makes the chicken super juicy and flavorful. 190 Celsius degrees for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, let's prepare the mushrooms. We'll also need them for our dinner salad. I have 300 of small champignons, so I'll simply cut them in half. Heat up a pan, add 1 tablespoon of ghee butter and once it melts, toss the mushrooms. Cook them covered on medium heat for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, finely chop a couple of garlic cloves. By now, the mushrooms have released their juices, add the garlic and stir. Cook for another 5 minutes until all the liquid evaporates. Season lightly with salt if needed. In the end, I have 240 grams of cooked mushrooms. Now our chicken fillet is ready. Let it cool to room temperature, then cut it into 3 to 3 cm cubes. I ended up with 450 grams of cooked chicken. If you don't have an air fryer, you can also bake it in the oven or even in a pan with parchment paper, whatever method is most convenient for you. This chicken is great not only for salads but as a meal prep base for many other dishes. For the next recipe we need 400 grams of frozen broccoli and 400 grams of frozen cauliflower. Chop them into smaller pieces. To make this easier, I'll let them thaw at room temperature for 30 minutes. You can also use fresh vegetables, but they'll need to be slightly blanched. We'll also need 150 grams of cherry tomatoes, which I cut into quarters. In a bowl, whisk together 5 eggs. Add a pinch of salt, pepper and 200 ml of milk. Add 2 tablespoons of flour. I use durum wheat flour, but you can also use any other type of flour you like. Lightly grease a baking dish with the butter. Now layer the vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower and cherry tomatoes. Pour over the egg mixture and top with 100 grams of grated cheese. Bake at 180 Celsius degrees for 45 minutes. Now let's move on to lunch. We're baking fish. I take 500 grams of salmon fillet, cutting it into cubes. Of course, you can use any fish you like. For the marinade, mix 50 ml of soy sauce and 1 teaspoon of mustard. Add the fish, mix well and let it marinate for 15 minutes. Then sprinkle with sesame seeds. I will bake it in the air fryer, lining the bottom with parchment paper and cooking at 180 Celsius degrees for 25 minutes. And for the side dish, let's prepare basmati rice. Rinse the rice well until the water runs clear. Put it in a pot and add 1 teaspoon of salt and pour enough water, so that is 2 fingers above the rice level. Bring to a boil and then reduce to low heat. Cover with a lid and cook for 15 minutes. After that, turn off the heat and let it sit covered for another 15 minutes. This way the rice turns out fluffy and delicious. And now let's prepare the broccoli garnish. In a pan, add 100 ml of water, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of oil and 200 grams of frozen broccoli. Cover and cook on a medium heat, meanwhile chop a few cloves of garlic. After 5 minutes, add the garlic and continue cooking uncovered until all the liquid evaporates. If your broccoli is still too firm, add a bit more water and cook a little longer. The fish is ready and looks absolutely delicious. And now we just have a couple more ingredients to prepare for the salad. Cut into pieces 200 grams of cherry tomatoes. I also take lettuce leaves chopped into smaller pieces. I'll be stirring the salad and glass jars. For the dressing, mix 1 tablespoon of yogurt, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire or soy sauce, a pinch of salt and 1 teaspoon of dried garlic. And now just mix it with a spoon. This dressing is not just for salad, it also works great with meat dishes. Assemble the salad in the following order. For the one portion, add 150 grams of cooked chicken, 80 grams of mushrooms, 80 grams of cherry tomatoes, lettuce leaves and top with pumpkin seeds. Seal the jars and store them in the fridge. The salatin jar will be for dinner for the next 3 days. And for the breakfast, we'll have a vegetable omelet. I divided it into 3 portions and placed each in a separate box. For the lunch, in one container for one portion, I put 150 grams of rice, 80 grams of baked fish and 100 grams of broccoli. So, in just a few hours, we'll prepare breakfasts, lunches and dinners for 3 full days. Before eating salad, simply shake it onto a plate. The veggies stay crunchy and it tastes as fresh as if you just made it. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful and enjoyable. If you did, I'd love to see your likes and comments below this video. And don't forget to subscribe for my channel if you haven't done it yet. This was Oля, see you in the next videos.